This video is about warming up your fingertips, your hands, your forearms, much like an athlete would warm up before they play. I mean, you wouldn't see any athletes just get out of the car and start running around the track. I mean, I doubt that you would see that. It's the same thing for us. I mean, we have muscles that get used, very specific muscles that are used in what we do. And especially as we get older, it's really important to get your muscles warmed up because you could potentially do some damage if you just jump in and start doing things with your hand that you're not used to doing. So I have a little system that I do. It's just a couple quick warm-ups. Takes 5 minutes to kind of get your hands warmed up before you jump into your actual performance warm-up. So a couple things I do. I just start with relaxing my shoulders, just sort of wiggling everything out just to let the energy flow all the way to my hands. The next thing I do is I like to make like a little, I guess prayer symbol with my hands, and I turn them in towards me gently, and only do this if this feels good. I mean, don't do anything that feels like it hurts. The bad hurt is not good. So I turn them towards me, just sort of stretch it. I do feel this in here too, so that's one place you might feel this if your elbows are up. And then I actually turn them the other way, and I'm keeping a nice right angle right here with my hands. I'm trying to push in as much as I can with my palms of my hand. And then I push them forward a little bit, and then I really feel the stretch right in here. So I lean them out this way. Again, my elbows are up. And then I bring it back again, do the same thing a couple times just like this, just to try to warm that up. And then wrists. Wrists are very important. I always just sort of bend them both directions like this. Sometimes I give a little extra push with my palm of my hand, very, very gently. Don't overdo this. Very gentle. And I love to push them back this way too. It really warms up the back of my wrist. So rotate those a lot. I mean, give a couple minutes of wrist rotations just to get that warmed up. I mean, you start to feel that warmth a little bit. The next thing I do, one of the most important things I think is this forearm. You hear about musicians getting tendonitis a lot, and that's, tied into right here, these tendons. So I always give my forearm just a nice, good, hearty massage right here, and you will probably feel it warming up pretty quick, especially if you've been playing a little bit and using these muscles more than you're used to doing. I mean, you'll really feel in here. So I just really massage that area here just to warm it up, because if it's tight, I mean, you'll feel it in your hand if it's too tight. So give a good massage here. I mean, it doesn't hurt to do both sides, but you don't feel it as much on your right side as you would on your left hand. So massage that really good. Go back to your wrists, do a little bit of that again. I do my fingertips. I just kind of bounce them like this a little bit just to get them warmed up. Finger stretches too. So if I were to do the splits right now, I haven't done the splits in, decades, but I wouldn't just go right into the splits. I would probably warm up to do that. It's the same way with your fingers. So, right where the webbing is, where your fingers make, connection with the knuckles and the palms, in the lower positions, we have some big extensions that we have to do, and we really have to stretch those fingers out. So I always, try to stretch my fingers. I just pull them apart a little bit between each one of those fingers, and it does help a lot. I really find that I can extend easier once I've sort of stretched the distance between the two fingers out. Once I've done between each finger like this, I usually try to do my thumb underneath my chin, and I just pull very gently all the way to my pinky so I can really get that stretch in here, and then I move so that I can get the distance between here and here. So I'll put my index finger under my chin, and I'll sort of pull that third finger a little bit to kind of give that stretch. Again, make sure you just do this very gently. You don't want to hurt yourself. So that feels good too, just to get those stretches going. Anything you can do to warm up your hand, get it moving again, is good. If it's cold outside, if it's winter time and my fingers are really cold, I always go to the sink and I turn on the water just warm, and I run my fingertips or my hands over the warm water just to get them warm. I mean, it's really important to have warm fingers before you play. You don't want to have cold fingers. So get them nice and warm with the water. The old arm pit trick works good too. You can just kind of, that's a lot of musicians in the symphony, you know, if it's cold, you know, you'll find us putting our hands on our neck, behind our neck, and, you know, armpit, whatever works just to keep those fingers warm before we go on stage. So warm fingers are a must. Another thing that I do is fingertips. I feel like fingertips have to be sort of engaged and lit up a little bit. So I just get my right hand, you know, thumbnail, and I just give a little little scratch right on the very tips of my calluses here, just to kind of light them up a little bit. It's good to feel that. I mean, sometimes when you have a big callus, it takes a little bit to get the sensation all the way through to your finger. And the more sensation you have in your fingertips, you know, the better you will feel connected to your cello, and the warmer your vibrato will be, and, you know, more connected to the pitch you will be. So nice warmed up fingertips is good. And then I go back and I usually do that one more time. I sort of stretch my fingers out, rotate my wrists again. One last little massage of my forearm, shake it out. That usually lasts me a few minutes, and I feel like I'm in a good place just to get started. So once I've done that, then I jump into my practice warm-ups, which is another video. But always warm your hand, your fingertips, and your forearm up before you practice.